Hello, welcome to the DACA section of the U of E Justice Center website. Glad to have you. Disclaimer. The information provided on this site is not legal advice, but is provided for informational purposes only. If you are in need of legal advice, we advise you consult with an attorney. What is DACA? DACA, also known as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, is an administrative relief from deportation. DACA protects eligible young immigrants who come to the United States as children from deportation. Requirements to be eligible for DACA. There are 10 requirements that must be met before being eligible for DACA. Among these 10 are the following. You came to the United States before reaching your 16th birthday. You have continuously resided in the United States since June 15, 2007. You were under the age of 31 as of June 15, 2012. And you have no felony convictions or misdemeanors. The filing process for DACA. Step 1. Collect documents as evidence you meet the guidelines. When submitting your DACA application, it may request certain information to verify your identity and other information. Although some will allow copies of documents, other instructions may request original documents. For example, IDs, birth certificates, and more. The filing process for DACA. Step 2. The second step when completing DACA is to complete the required 2 forms and the worksheet. The 2 forms and 1 worksheet are the I-821D, which is the Consideration for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals form. The second form is the I-765 Application for Employment Authorization. Finally, the worksheet that must be completed is the I-765WS. The filing process for DACA. Step 3. The third step is to mail the documents and respective documents needed in order to completely process the application and prove identity or other information. The filing process for DACA. Step 4. After mailing your documents, make sure to visit an Application Support Center, ASC, for biometric services. After the USCIS receives your complete request with fees, they will send you a notice to schedule a visit. Children under the age of 14 will appear at the ASC for photographs only if they are not in immigration detention or in removal proceedings. What happens if your DACA is not granted? If your DACA request is denied, you cannot appeal the decision or file a motion to reopen or reconsider. However, if you met all USCIS guidelines, you may request a review using the Service Request Management tool if you believe your request was denied because of an administrative error. Delays. If your DACA is expiring soon or scheduled to expire, it is possible to ask USCIS to process your renewal more quickly. It is recommended to submit your application at least 150 days or 5 months, but no later than 120 days or 4 months before your DACA status expires. Who to contact? In emergencies or situations that require urgent action, you may contact the Ombudsman's Office with a DHS 7001 form or contact your congressional representative. Additionally, if you are struggling and have followed these suggestions, you can contact the National Immigration Law Center, NILC, or the Immigrant Legal Resource Center, ILRC. 8-821D. Consideration of Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. This form is used to request a consideration of granting or renewing deferred action. When filing, you will need to supply evidence and translations of any document in a foreign language, residence and travel information, contact information, and declarations. You can access this form for free on the USCIS website and instructions on how to fill out the form as well. Once the form is completed, it will be sent with the I-765 application and the I-765 worksheet. I-765 Application for Employment Authorization. The I-765 is an application for certain aliens who are in the United States to request employment authorization. When filing, you will need evidence and supporting documents such as birth certificates, marriage certificates, and social security number if applicable. You can access this form for free on the USCIS website and instructions on how to fill out the form as well. Once the form is completed, you will need to look on the filing locations for the Form I-765 on the USCIS website to know which office to send the form to, because the location depends on your reason for applying and eligibility category. I-765 Worksheet. The I-765 worksheet is a form that needs to be filled out that determines whether you have an economic need to work. When filing, you will need your financial information such as income, expenses, and assets. You can access this form for free on the USCIS website and instructions on how to fill out the form as well. Once the form is complete, it will be sent with the I-765 application. This has been an overview of the DACA section on behalf of the ULV Justice Center. We thank you for your time and hope this information is helpful in your legal matter.